Hi there, and welcome to the Luminary Podcast Studio. We're here on our open day, this big new thing. We're trying to show a whole bunch of new clients, a whole bunch of people this fantastic space, and we happen to have a very special guest. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
So, yeah, sure. I'm Sander, Managing Director of SKD Tapes.
Okay.
I've worked with Stylistic for longer than I can remember.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you worked with them for quite a while, with the website, the photography, and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah, so pretty much since Phil started, yeah.
So now we're doing this Luminary thing where we're opening up things like we're doing more things with photography, but now I've got this podcast studio and everything else. So first impressions, what do you think?
Yeah, it looks very nice. The studio looks homely, looks very pleasant.
Yeah.
Got to get used to the idea of doing podcasts, and I think it's it's interesting.
Podcasting is an interesting thing, but it's all generally quite. I'm glad you came around because we've worked before together. We've come down to your place and filmed everything, and it's just kind of. So I'm just kind of wondering actually, because this is now the next sort of step. We've done videography, but now we want to bringing people here. So just thinking about as this is a space, how would you, with your business, consider something like this kind of space, or how we can provide for you?
I think first of all, when you come over to our place, it's good because you're still doing photography, you're still doing videos, but all the setup and the arranging and getting things set up correctly, it takes a lot of the time and attention away. Whereas over here, it's more focused, isn't it? You can come in and just do the podcast, just do what you're prepared for, and not have the distraction of all the equipment.
Yeah, because we basically would do it all for you. Because this is like the podcast setup, but we can do a setup, for example, like training videos or demonstration, for example. Yeah. So imagine like you have the table here and you want to demonstrate something, you'd have like 2 camera talk about something like that. So we would set that up for you, and that would be. Yeah, because because there's a lot of logistics about having someone come round all the way there and figure out something from that, isn't it? So, yeah. So let's have a look a little, because actually let's have a bit of time for you to talk about your business and your brand. So, what to the audience who don't know much about you, describe to me what your business is.
So, SKD Tapes is a supplier of industrial self-adhesive materials.
Okay.
We supply tape, which are used in pretty much any manufacturing process out there. Every manufacturer, every business that has some form of operation will use tape somewhere. Yeah. You've seen it here in the photography studio.
Yeah, we're using it.
There's a basket with tape, and there is some tape used everywhere, and some of these products are very specific. They're very technical. Things like the automotive industry have very specific requirements, and that's what we do. That's what we specialize in. We import. We work with manufacturers around the world. We bring in big reels from the big tape manufacturers and convert them to the exact format that a customer might need.
Okay. Are there any particularly interesting ones, or like we're always kind of wondering when it comes to sort of like there's so many different types of tape.
Yeah.
Which ones are either the ones which are the most popular, or the ones that have this very or the ones that really do have like this very unique kind of quality?
So yeah, they're very typical applications like glazing. Yeah. We supply tapes that fit glazing cassettes indoors.
Okay.
We do quite a lot of that. You can see when you look at a door, there is a glass unit fitted in the door that's sealed around the edges with a tape. The tape has got to live up to certain standards for being weatherproof, for permeability, for protection against burglars, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And it gets tested for all of that. So that's something we do. And then you got really unique applications, really one-offs.
Which ones which ones have you got? Which are like they're like, oh, that's odd.
We've got a customer who puts matches into bottles, and it's like a decorative item.
Okay.
But they sell lots and lots of them, and they export them to the US. And it's matches in a bottle in a way that looks pretty, and it's got a striker pad at the bottom of the bottle.
Okay.
And they had problems with getting the striker pad to stick, so they would export all these bottles to America. And if it was hot or in certain conditions, the striker pads would peel off the bottles.
Oh.
So we solved that problem, and then we changed the presentation of the product in such a way that it made it a lot easier for them to apply the pieces, because it's all manual work. So we kind of solved two problems for them. And you don't find an application like that twice, and I like that.
I was going to say, like, matches in a bowl is the first time I've ever
neat.
heard that even existed.
Yeah.
So, but that basically means makes your business like really unique, because you have to work with different kinds of applications as a whole.
Yeah, and it makes it difficult from a sales perspective, because you don't really know what you're going after.
Yeah.
You don't really know where your next customer is going to come from, which is where the marketing comes in, and you just got to make sure that people can find you when they've got a problem.
Yeah.
Because our next big project really can be anything, and it can be like a car manufacturer or a construction company or a big glazing company, which are the kind of the more typical applications for us. But it can be something really out of the blue like that.
Yeah. And I think those are the fun ones, aren't they? When they're like, okay, we got to be more creative with this.
Yeah.
Speaking of creative, so one of the things we'll be doing in this interview, these kind of interviews we want to ask one very silly question, because obviously we're in a podcast studio right now, obviously, as you can see. So I want to say, if you were going to start a podcast right now, who would be your first guest? Now, this is the thing I like to talk. It's all like, who would you invite for dinner? So this could be a fictional person, this could be a real person, this could be a person alive, dead. Who would you want to have a conversation with if you had the opportunity to do so?
Oh, that's an impossible question.
It's tough, isn't it? Give me a list of names of people you go like, oh, I would love to have a chat with them about that.
It will be somebody like Peter from Dragon's Den.
Okay.
And pick his brain for business experience or something like that.
Oh, that'd be good. Oh, actually, I mean, that'd be great. You know, he would be able to talk his ear off.
I would imagine so, yeah.
You can imagine him like you'd ask a question and there'll be 30 minutes just sit there writing notes. Going, oh, please just keep talking. But yeah, that's a good one. I always like people from Dragon's Den. I'm always kind of wondering how much of them is like their real personality and how much of them they exaggerate a little bit for the TV show.
Yeah, I mean that's with anyone, but they've done the show for so long. You can't pretend to be someone.
Imagine the entire time it's like, oh, it's all a lie. But that'll be a fun one actually. I like the people from Dragon's Den.
Yeah, I like the program. I like the stuff that people come up with. It's again with these funny applications for tape. It's the stuff that people come up with.
There's some weird fun ones, and some of them that they go onto Dragon's Den, and some of them do get picked up by the dragons. But then also you got a few that didn't get picked up, but they do really well after.
Yeah, you got some people that you think, oh, what are you thinking?
What are you thinking?
Really.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, just to sort of end, we'll end this conversation. Thank you for coming on. Okay. So, just so that I'm going to give you the floor. Do you have anything you'd like to either promote or share at all to the audience before we wrap up?
Nothing specific at the moment. We'll be doing more of this, no doubt.
Yeah.
I think we've got to think of some specific podcasts or videos, like we spoke last time, to do training videos, product information. Got to try and keep it interesting, of course.
That'll be our job. We will do our darndest.
Not just some bloke waffling on about tape.
We'll add explosions and extreme slow motion. It'll be awesome. So yeah, thank you very much.
No problem.